And so if you don't move away from this extreme partisan politics, which has so much divided us, I mean, how come in a country every project wears political color? Every project, whether road construction, whether school, it wears political color. NDC project, NPP project. Is that how to build a nation? To the extent that when one party takes over, uncompleted projects are abandoned. They start new one, because if I complete it, the credit will go to a political party. As if we build the project for a political party. The country has been so divided that it's a winner takes all affair. So if NPP wins, NPP supporters, those card members, they are not up to 1 million. Those who control NPP, they are not up to 2,000. These people will control all the resources of the state. They will control all the appointments of the state. A country of 32 million, you have about 2,000 people. How do you expect to develop as a nation on the basis of this? You can't develop. The point is that is why we come in. The movement for change come in. We are saying enough is enough of NDC NPP, because if you look at the figures they are comparing, and NDC will come and tell you that we did better than NPP because in our time interest rate was 25%. It is now 40%. But who said in a country that want to develop, that want to be competitive on the market, interest rate of 25 is good? You look good now because somebody's performance is worse. Yours was bad, somebody has made it worse. That is why you look good now. But if you want to forge ahead, you want to move ahead as a nation, then we shouldn't only vote for somebody because he's coming from a political party. Let's single them out as individuals and see what they present as individuals. Countries, nations are developed with plans, not manifestos.
Whenever I say my PENDREAM TV there, I see them yopo.
You are till for a PENDREAM TV in Pacho. When you say the news not all from an the bro. News say all babeti in Pacho. So what one drink Trebia and as what drink Trefa. News be I present your platform where you saw for your voice note not for sending it. I was 0277 128777. The debate 2 PENDREAM FM so Magana for you not on can. Yanko T and a story I did Bremono.
Come together to stop Nana. Ebo.
Yeah. Then allow me. It's even difficult where to start from. You see, the NPP has just shot itself, not in the leg or in the foot, but in the head. With the selection of the kind of candidates they've gone to, or they went and to choose the candidate. I've always said that political parties don't vote for themselves; people vote for them. And so, in choosing a candidate, you need to choose a candidate that you can sell to people for votes. If you consider the fact that the NPP had the opportunity to choose between Kennedy Japan and Dr. Bawumia, and you consider the fact that within the party, I'm not talking about the delegates, within the broader membership of the party, Kennedy Japan has serious following, and that NPP decided to choose Dr. Bawumia ahead of Kennedy Japan. That tells me the party is not serious to win the election. And for me, they don't even have to win the election for obvious reasons, as I've always mentioned. You see, Dr. Bawumia, per his own style of campaign during the NPP primaries, has opened the floodgate for this religious and the tribal politics that has started, becoming or forming the conversation moving forward. Wherever Dr. Bawumia went up north and was talking to people who were Muslims, he would ask them to vote for him because he's one of them. Wherever you went up north and met his people, he would tell them, vote for me because I am one of you. So if there's one person who started all this conversation in terms, I mean, in respect of religious and ethnic politics, it is Dr. Bawumia himself. Perhaps that is the reason why they are afraid that Ghanaians, people, maybe the NDC, would also play that religious and ethnic politics, because if you consider the political market that we have in the country, if you consider the fact that in the political market that we have, the Christians constitute about 71% of the population, then one will begin to appreciate or understand why they are now trying to do everything, you know, to bring on board pastors to come and lay hands on him just for the cameras. Because the idea is that, as Felix mentioned, I think according to Felix, they did similar something against John Mahama on religious grounds. So they fear, and the fear is that it may be done to them also. So as much as possible, they want to try and get that one, you know, behind them in terms of having some Christians, some pastors, some religious leaders to visit him, so that Ghanaians will know that Dr. Bawumia is for all. I mean, they've even started, I saw something on social media to the effect that we are one nation, different faith and all that. They are all doing all that because they want to cure that, you know, something that they themselves started. I'm talking about Dr. Bawumia when he was campaigning during the NPP primaries. I mean, look at the voting pattern in Northeast. I mean, are we saying that about 528 people will go and vote, and Kennedy will get 0, Akoto will get 0, the other one would get 0, and only Dr. Bawumia will get 100%. Northeast 100%. I think about 4 or 5 constituencies had 100%. So you see, that's what I'm saying, that they are beginning to see the effect of what they themselves did. But with NPP primaries, sometimes, you know, it is difficult to talk about them, especially as we have, you know, transited from the NPP to the Afafanto movement. It is difficult because sometimes you know, some things could have been done better by the party. I mean, if the party set out rules and regulations to manage the elections, and per the rules the party itself came out with, if you are a national officer, regional officer, or a prominent member of the party, you are not supposed, you should be neutral. You are not supposed to, you know, openly campaign for a candidate. But what we saw, I mean, majority leader, Ashanti regional chairman, some of the national executives openly campaigning for one particular person. I mean, to the extent that the whole government machinery, the whole party machinery, all party communicators, all government appointees were swept in line to vote for Dr. Bawumia. For me, I've heard Ken say that the process was free and fair, or the election was free and fair. Probably he was talking about voting. I mean, that distinction has to be made. The voting was managed well because they didn't want to incur the displeasure of Ken. So they did everything to make sure that the voting will be free and fair. But the process itself wasn't free and fair. I mean, the election itself wasn't free and fair. That is the point that has to be made. I mean, if you consider the fact that the rules that were set were broken by the very people who set the rules, to the extent that, look at the reason why Mr. Jakon had to, you know, go out of the race. The reason why Mr. Allan had to also, you know, even withdraw and later, you know, resign from the party. What I'm saying is that, yes, they have decided to choose Dr. Bawumia. But you see, the reason why initially I said they've shot themselves in the foot is that You are presenting the candidate who, for me, is going to be the weakest candidate the party has ever presented. I'm going to any election. You want to win an election. And the major issue of the campaign will be on the economy. And the one that you are presenting is the one who has supervised or who has supervised the collapse of the economy. You are sending the same person to Ghanaians for Ghanaians to consider him and vote for him again to come and do what? I ask simple questions. When Dr. Bawumia set his 170 questions, he knew who to send the questions to. He didn't send the question to the President Mahama. He sent the question to the Vice President then, the late Emisata. And the reason being that Dr. Bawumia understood, he knew, and he knows that when it comes to the management of the economy, it is the Vice President who is in charge. One would have expected that after certain questions, I've been a teacher before, when you set every question you set, you have answers already. You can't set questions that you don't have answers to. So if you set 170 questions and you give it to someone, assuming that when you're able to answer that question, that will solve the problem that we are going through. It means you have the solution in opposition. As an opposition leader, you had solution to the problem. So the person in charge couldn't solve the problem. You were given the same opportunity, the same position to manage the economy that you claim Emisata failed to manage. I mean, this is an outcome. This is what we have. And now they are trying everything hard to insulate him from the happenings in the economy. That as if he's not in charge of the economy. You see, if you are a leader, you must be able to dance when they sing praises to you. And you must be able to take the blame when things are not good. Mr. Sefumafo, it was a press conference. I made a statement to the effect that Ghana's economy at the time was seemingly performing well. And so the figures were good. So he attributed the performance of the economy at the time. He didn't even attribute it to the economic management team. He attributed it to the vice president and said, we are where we are because of the vice president, Dr. Bawumia. And Dr. Bawumia was sitting down there. He was nodding his head and was smiling, accepting the fact that, yes, Ghana is where it was because of him. Then suddenly the economy is now on the surgical table of the IMF. You say, no, it's not me. I'm not the one in charge. Who is in charge? No, who is in charge of the economy? That's what I'm saying, that the party has shot itself in the head in respect of the 2024 election. Now, let's come to the NPP platform after where they announced the winner, the Accra Sports Stadium. Some statements that were made on the platform. First was the president's statement. He said he was going to do everything he could in his strength and in his power to make sure the vice president wins. I was expecting the president to tell Ghanaians that from now on going, by the time we get to the end of our term, I will do everything within my power to make sure that we have significant improvement in the economy. That is how you speak as a president. You are thinking of uniting your party, you are thinking of making your party stronger, and you have checked that on the economy. And you want Ghanaians to accept the fact that because NPP has elected Dr. Bawumia, they should go and queue and vote for him. Is that how we want to build this nation? I mean, these are critical questions we need to ask. The president, he had the opportunity to speak to Ghanaians, because wherever president stands and he speaks, he should speak to Ghanaians, because he's the president of Ghana. And all that he could say, that I will do everything to make sure that he wins. The Bawumia succeeds me. For what? To what end? To go through the same economic issues or problems? So for me, that's what I'm saying. NPP, you see, Dr. Bawumia himself, because of the kind of politics he has started doing, the religious and ethnic politics. I mean, look at his ethnic background, a very minute ethnic group. With all due respect, I'm not saying that negatively, but I'm saying description. And it's also coming from a minority religious group. So why do you start religious politics when you know that the numbers don't favor you? And why do you choose a candidate that you know will suffer when it comes to religious and ethnic politics? And now come and tell Ghana, paint the picture as though you've been having problems in Ghana between the Christians and the Muslims. Who said so? Is he the only Muslim who has become vice president? Were we fighting against each other when late Ali Muhammad was vice president? I mean, what are they talking about? So for me, the most important thing Ghanaians will have to consider going to 2024 election is the economy. It's the economy. Another statement that was made by the General Secretary, that from today, no one can accuse NPP of being an Akan party. Hey? So you chose a candidate just so that people will not say you are an Akan party. In any case, was the Akan tag a negative tag on them? They are not smart. You are going to an election. In the last election, you won 6 regions out of 7 regions. All the six regions are Akan regions. Now you won 7 regions out of the 16 regions. Out of the 7, 6 of them are Akan regions. And if you take the 10,000 that you had from Northeast out of it, it means you won because of the Akan regions. So if your opponent is accusing you of being an Akan region, it's an advantage to you. You say, no, because my opponent is accusing me, I'm not choosing an Akan, and tell Ghanaians that from today, my opponent cannot say I'm an Akan party again. Which strategist, political strategist, that wants to win election will go on that tangent? That's what I'm saying, that if they didn't know, I am telling them, they've shot themselves in the head. The only thing they would want to do to win election maybe is to rig the election. But if the election is going to be conducted on the basis of the economy, on the basis of the competence of the one who is leading, their candidate has no chance. Because, as I said, any economist or an advisor to the president, and I will always say it, who refused or who couldn't advise the president to focus on making our currency stronger in relation to foreign currencies is a failed economist. Because the heartbeat of every economy is the exchange rate. So if you are advising a president, every year you present budget, don't we? You present budget every year. What you need to do is that when it comes to budgetary allocation, your advice to the president should be to put more resources, allocate more resources to the productive sectors of the economy. Because how do you make the strength of your currency stronger? You do that but through production. Because you see, we don't produce dollars or pounds. It's only when we sell outside that we get dollars. It's only when the little we have, we protect the little we have by not using them to buy or import goods from outside. That is when you make your currency stronger. So if you are an advisor to the president and you are also part of the team, the 3 men who decide on the allocation of resources, the president, the finance minister and the vice president, they are in charge of allocation of resources. You say you want to move away from taxation to production. Check the Ministry of Trade and Industry, the kind of allocations, budget allocations that were made to that sector of the economy. Very poor. Yet you said you want to move away from taxation to production. It's only when you have produced and you've exported more, you've added value to your agricultural produce, and you've exported more or natural resources you've exported more, that you're able to earn more foreign currency. It's only when you've been able to establish, maybe if not, maybe a few or strategic import substitution industries, where the things that you used to import, you now produce them in Ghana, conserving foreign exchange. That is how you're going to show up your foreign exchange reserve. I mean, this is basic economics, so it is demand and supply issue. So whenever you have excess demand or more cedi chasing the dollar, the value of the dollar will go up. So if you're able to shore up your exchange reserve to the extent that now it is the dollar rather chasing the cedi, more dollar chasing the cedi, that is when the cedi will become stronger and the dollar in terms of strength will go down. This is basic economics. So if, as Kennedy Japan mentioned, and I mentioned it the last time when I came here, Kennedy Japan said something, another statement made by Kennedy Japan on the platform. He said the election was free and fair. But before the election, he said something very striking, disturbing. He said the current NPP is looting Ghana as if there's no tomorrow. And that when they loot, they send the money outside. Question, do they send cedi outside? No, it's the dollar. So they send out, they do investment outside with the money. The little you have not been able to advise to increase your production to get more foreign exchange. You have not conserved enough to have more foreign. The little you are stealing them, sending them outside, putting some under bets. You expect your currency to be stronger. I mean, who does that? Is that how we want to build this nation? And that is why I want to use this medium to appeal to Honorable Kennedy Japan. He has come to be known as the man of truth, man of principle. In fact, Ken had a lot of followers. People like him because of the way he speaks. And people consider him as more or less, whether it is true or not, many people see him as the only politician in Ghana who probably speaks the truth more than any other person. So if Honorable Kennedy Japan, because he has come to be known to be a truthful person, said the NPP is looting Ghana as if there's no tomorrow. If Ken said when they loot, they send the money outside. If Ken said that they even wanted to bribe him $800 million, and because of his love for the country and for the youth of the country, he rejected or refused the bribe. If he said all these things, the question I have for him on appeal is that he should maintain the kind of integrity and credibility he's been able to build so far. Because are you going to stand on the same platform? Are you going to campaign with the same people and tell Ghanaians that Ghanaians to vote for them? To do what? To come and continue the looting? I mean, I don't expect Kennedy Japan to do that. I don't expect him to do that. And I know he will not do that. Because then wherein lies your integrity and the credibility and the principle? Because you said Ghana first. That was the main, the core, at the core of his campaign. He said Ghana first. And so is it going to be party first now? Or is it still going to be Ghana first? If it's Ghana first, then let it be Ghana first consistently. That is why I'm saying that MPP, yes, in terms of the economy, they are out. Dr. Bawumia's competence is certainly in doubt. His credibility as well. You see, politics is a game of words. What you say, whether people will believe it or not, depends on your credibility. Credibility and words, they move together. Your words will make you a credible person. But your words, the value of your words will also depend on your credibility. I mean, if you consider some of the things Dr. Bawumia said about the 2016 election and 2020 election, I'm from Cape Coast. We are waiting for him. Because he said, ostensibly, he said, people of Cape Coast, I have good news for you. We are constructing, he didn't say we shall construct. He didn't say we will construct or we will build. Say we are building or constructing a harbor and airport for you. We are waiting. And I'm saying that if you look at the things he said in the past and the things that are happening now, and you complain bitterly about the economy, and still we are suffering as a nation to the extent that we went to the IMF. And when he went to the IMF, interesting, when he went to the IMF, Dr. Bawumia, went under the radar. Nobody could see Dr. Bawumia or hear Dr. Bawumia again. When he went to the IMF, it's only Mr. Allan who had the boldness to speak to Ghanaians about the situation. Dr. Bawumia was nowhere to be found. And this is the candidate MPP think is good for Ghana. Probably he's coming to serve the interests of maybe a few people in the party. Because as we know, that is the danger, and that brings me to another point. You know, I've always said that in Ghana here, per the structure or architecture of our constitution, we don't vote for political party. You see, we've always made the argument NDC NPP, and that is the bane of our development. NPP and NDC, they know you can only suffer 8 years in opposition, even if you mismanage things. 8 years time, you come back. So when they come and they take over the economy, they complain about the previous government performance. By the time they leave office, they will also mess up things. They know that after all, if I'm able to make money and go to opposition 8 years, and able to money that can sustain me in opposition 8 years, I'll come back after 8 years. So that has been the trend. But moving forward, I believe Ghanaians must begin to re-examine themselves in relation to how things have been done for 32 years. Because we don't vote for political parties. The power of the state is vested in an individual, not in a political party. So why should a political party be the basis for voting for someone? Somebody has personal ambition to become president. He joins a political party. He's only using a political party as a vehicle. The danger is that if you don't take time and we allow this kind of partisan politics to continue the way it is going, and it's even happening. I don't even talk about future now. A few people, because of the money they've made in the system, will sponsor a candidate to come and serve their interest. So they will force the person on Ghanaians because they have the money to do that. Then when the person becomes president, instead of serving the interest of the nation, the person will be serving their interest. That is what is happening. And so if we don't move away from this extreme partisan politics, which has so much divided us, I mean, how come in a country every project wears political color? Every project, whether road construction, whether school, it wears political color. NDC project, NPP project. Is that how to build a nation? To the extent that when one party takes over, uncompleted projects are abandoned. They start new one, because if I complete it, the credit will go to a political party. As if we build the project for a political party. The country has been so divided that it's a winner takes all affair. So if NPP means NPP supporters, those card members, they are not up to 1 million. Those who control NPP, they are not up to 2,000. These people will control all the resources of the state. They will control all the appointment of the state. A country of 32 million, you have about only 2,000 people. How do you expect to develop as a nation on the basis of this? You can't develop. The point is that is why we come in. The movement for change come in. We are saying enough is enough of NDC NPP, because if you look at the figures they are comparing, and NDC will come and tell you that we did better than NPP because in our time interest rate was 25%. It is now 40%. But who said in a country that want to develop, that want to be competitive on the market, interest rate of 25 is good? You look good now because somebody's performance is worse. Yours was bad, somebody has made it worse. That is why you look good now. But if you want to forge ahead, you want to move ahead as a nation, then we shouldn't only vote for somebody because he's coming from a political party. Let's single them out as individuals and see what they present as individuals. Countries, nations are developed with plans, not manifestos. How can you have a budget? How can you run a budget without a plan? Every budget must be drawn on the basis of plan. What is the plan of this nation? What plan has NDC put forward? What plan has NPP put forward? They know that the way our political system, this duopoly, has dominated this political space. If it is not NDC, it is what? NPP. So in future, if NDC should go and elect somebody who is somehow mentally retarded, NPP does the same thing. We don't have any choice because NDC has produced the person, NPP has produced the person. So what I'm saying is that yes, Dr. Bawumia, he shouldn't be part of the contest. Per his performance, I see more that this contest is between Mr. John Mahama and Mr. Allan Chamartin. That's what I see. If we are going to be realistic, NPP doesn't deserve another term. There's no two ways about it. NPP doesn't. Let's be honest. And I also don't think that. You see, I ask simple questions. Mr. Mahama had opportunity, the finest opportunity. When the president died, he took over. isn't it? He took over. Then he had his own opportunity for years to manage Ghana. I mean, he had everything going for him. He had everything going for him to manage Ghana, to bring Ghana to a level that all of us will be happy about. He had opportunity. I mean, when he was leaving office, as I was saying, Ghanaians rejected him not just because of the promises of the NPP, because the situation at the time was not good. I'm saying that interest rate has become good. His interest rate of 25% has become good because of the shambolic performance of the NPP. So should it be that, which one should be the benchmark when you want to develop? Is it the 25%? Is it the inflation of the exchange rate of 3.8%? Which one should be there? Can't we, as a nation, can't we strive to have single-digit interest rate? Can't we? And we can only do that when we have planned to do that. That is why Mr. Allan Chamaten is not the kind of politicians that will come and talk plenty and do little. He says, I want to lead Ghana. So first things first, he has put forward a plan. The plan is publicly out there. I mean, anybody can access the plan and say that, per your plan, if you follow it, you can take Ghana to the next level. And he's saying that where we are, you see, on the normal line, we are on the negative side of the normal line. What we need is not just growth. We need a transformational, quantum leap to move from the negative side of the normal line to the positive side. And I'm saying that until we Ghanaians, because parties don't vote for themselves. It is Ghanaians who vote for political parties. If Ghanaians today, they decide that it is enough, NDC and NPP, it is enough, then we are going to consider a third force, which is this movement, which is going to come up with the government of national unity. Do you know Ghana now? NDC is waiting for the next 8 years. If Ghana is given an opportunity, when they come, all contracts will be given to those card-bearing members. All scholarships will be given to card-bearing members. All appointments will be given to card-bearing members. The question is that, can NDC have all the men, the kind of wisdom, the kind of expertise we need to develop this country? The answer is no. We need a broader, consideration where you can bring people from people who want to participate, but because of the way politics has been made so dirty, they don't want to participate. Let's make politics so clean, so that we can have people in academia, we can have people in the business community, we can even have people in these political parties who will be considered on the basis of their qualification and their expertise, not on the basis of their loyalty to somebody. Look at the ministers, the kind of ministers we have. I mean, cannot develop as a nation. Are you saying that these are the best brains we have in this country? The best brains are out there because the politician has made the turf so dirty that people don't want to be participating.
Mr. Bachman, thank you. Thank you very much. Abu Bachman is from the Movement of Change. If you just join us, the mother of all talk shows, Allan live on Pan-African TV.
Story OTCC a platform I friend PENDREAM TV and I uti story no na feedback we hear and story our no any story be our platform ne so be our tia o pese o my feedback no fafa WhatsApp message or WhatsApp number 0277128777 na ye be bo e PENDREAM FM Ghana for nyina ate won ka
dedi kama amena PENDREAM TV ase na so far so good say open online portal e wo Ghana nipa share nipa follow nipa comment here to my best of knowledge without any biases PENDREAM TV.